Hi, this is Suzette, the Meaningful Work Maven. I am here with something on my heart that I feel I need to express, and so I feel guided to offer up something that I hope will inspire and comfort and soothe at a very deep level. And so I first, the first piece that really comes to my heart is the beautiful lotus flower, because it's very rich with symbolic meaning for us. And we could learn so much. Lotuses are, in some traditions, are sacred flowers. And what's so fascinating about these very, very beautiful flowers is that they must grow through the blackness of mud. And from the blackness of mud, this lotus emerges in the most beautiful way. And so, with that vision, with that imagery, with that symbolism, the symbolic meaning of the lotus growing through the mud, it's dark, it's uncertain. And the last time that I spoke, it was on the topic of the dark night, the collective dark night that we are all under. And this is much like the mud. This is the mud. And in my heart, I see all of us rising out, rising up through this mud. All of us. And when we get to the other side of this pandemic, the stronger, the more beautiful flowers we can be, to rise through the mud like the lotus and become radiantly beautiful as the lotus. To me, this is the beauty behind the challenge, the gift behind the challenge for all of us to grow through the mud, the dark times, the uncertainty, to keep faith that the light will return, that there is an end in sight, that this too shall pass. And use this time productively use this time to become more present, not so, not have the mind be your master, but actually realize that we are not our thoughts. We are not the stories that we believed we are from our, what we do, what we wear, what we ride, what we drive, what our hobbies are, how masterful we are at things. So long as those things are done in the spirit of expressing oneself and expressing one's joy without thought, just being in that moment, enjoying for the sake of enjoying, being able to calm the chatter of the mind, because that chatter can block clarity. So I want to read something to you from one of my favorite books called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it's chapter 2, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Chapter 2, The Present Moment. If you want to experience the supernatural in your own life by healing your body, creating new opportunities you could never have imagined before, and having transcendent mystical experiences, you first need to master the concept of the present moment, the eternal now. There's a lot of talk about being present or being in the now these days. While most people understand the basics of what that means, not to think about the future or live in the past, I want to offer you a completely different understanding of the concept. It's going to require that you get beyond the physical world, including your body, your identity, and your environment, and even beyond time itself. This is where you turn possibility into reality. After all, if you don't get beyond who you think you are and the way you've been conditioned to believe the world works, it's not possible to create a new life or a new destiny. So, in a very real sense, you have to get out of your own way, transcend the memory of yourself as an identity, and allow something greater than you, something mystical, to take over. So, by using this time productively, we are all in the mud right now. But we can keep the picture of the lotus in our hearts, in our minds, as a visual to remind us that although things are dark right now, we can align with the energy of the lotus that itself must start in darkness, in the depths of muddy waters. And it grows into the most beautiful flower when the time is right. And I think this is a beautiful image to keep as a reminder to hang in there, to be strong, and to rely on your support system, your friends and family. We all can still talk on the phone, and thank goodness for FaceTime and video chat, because even though there's social distancing, we're still able to connect, still able to see one another's faces, And so there is still connection. And so maybe I'm hoping that with my words, there's some soothing, soothing energy that I can leave as my final intention for all of us tonight. And I'm going to pull another card from the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle cards. I'm really feeling called to pull from this deck. It's so relevant right now, and I just feel like my whole life has been one big hero's journey that I just keep following my heart, and it sends me in all different directions and twists and turns, but no matter what happens, it's always worth it. There's always a purpose for why things happen the way they do. So I accept. I accept and know that all will be well in the end somehow. And also remember the phoenix that burned to the ground and rose from the ashes, the lotus that starts in the blackness of mud but rises through it and blossoms into this beautiful flower from the depths of blackness. So this is the nature of our spirits as well. Our spirits are like lotuses. And so, too, as the lotus, we will rise through the mud and become radiantly beautiful on the other side of this, and much stronger and much wiser and much more grateful for everything, right? So, the card that I pulled, you might talk about coincidence here, but nothing's a coincidence, right? Is card number 24. The unknown is your friend. Lean into, embrace what's next. Lean in to embrace what's next. And I'm going to read from the guide. And the guide says, the unknown is your friend. Lean in to embrace what's next. What is that feeling when you're driving away from people and they recede on the plane till you see their specks dispersing? It's too huge world vaulting us in, and it's goodbye. But we lean forward to the next crazy adventure beneath the skies. And that was a quote by Jack, I don't want to butcher his last name, Kerouac. Kerouac. Okay. Message. Stand on the shore of what you think you know and feel the unfamiliar enticing you forward. Up ahead, just over the horizon, there is a glimmer of foreign territory. Be filled with the spirit of adventure and inspired to let go of the familiar. Turn within and connect with what you want to carry with you. Take only that which is most essential. Aware that life is on your side and the unknown is your friend. Hear the calling, muster your courage, and go for it. So it's all about cultivating depth within oneself, self connection, heart and mind. When they are harmonized, the mind is a wonderful servant, but it's a horrible master. And that was a saying that I heard a good friend of mine say, and it rings very, very true. But that's my offering for today. And actually tonight. It's nighttime. But yeah, I hope that this offering um, can find a place in your heart. And till next time, deepest blessings, deepest blessings, and hang in there. And much love to all.